Let me ask you something. Are you tired of using AI like Claude and feeling like you're just stuck on a treadmill? Explaining your brand, your goals, your voice over and over and over again for every single little thing you ask it to do? Well, yeah, that whole repetitive, frustrating process, it ends today.
I mean, just look at this. This perfectly sums it up, right? The old way is that massive wall of text, a huge brain dump, just to get one social media post that, let's be honest, probably still wasn't quite right. But the new way? It's just a single, simple command that gives you a nearly perfect, on-brand result, instantly. The difference is absolutely revolutionary, and it's all because of a feature called Skills. So the secret sauce here is Claude Skills. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly what they are, how you can build them, and, this is really important, the critical mistakes you've got to avoid to actually make them work for you. So what is a Claude skill really? Well, the best way to think about it is as a permanent playbook that you give to the AI. You teach it your process, your preferences, your brand voice, just one time, and then it remembers. It applies all that knowledge every single time it sees a relevant task. And setting up a skill is actually surprisingly simple. It's really just three parts. You've got a folder, just to keep things organized. You've got an instruction file, which is basically the brain of the operation. And then you have separate reference files for all your specific details. That is it. No complex plugins, no crazy setup required. Okay, now let's get into the two mistakes that almost everybody makes, the things that cause their perfectly built skills to just completely fail. Honestly, avoiding these is the real key to getting this whole system to work. All right, mistake number one is a big one. You can build the most incredible, detailed, perfect skill, but Claude might never actually use it. And the reason is so simple. You haven't explicitly told it to look for and use the skills you created. So they just sit there, collecting dust. The fix, though, is incredibly simple. You just go into your Claude settings and add this one single sentence to your custom instructions. This one line basically flips the switch on your entire system. It tells Claude, hey, always check for a skill before you do anything else. The second mistake is putting absolutely everything in one giant file. Now, when you do that, Claude has to load all 500 plus lines of your brand Bible every single time, even if it only needs one tiny little piece of it. The modular approach with separate files is just so much smarter. Claude only loads the 100 lines it actually needs, which saves you time and, importantly, tokens. Okay, enough theory. Let's actually put this into practice. We're going to create our very first skill right now from scratch. We'll call it a brand identity guardian, and its whole job is to embed your brand's DNA into everything Claude creates. So, the core logic, the brain of our skill, is going to follow these 6 simple steps. And notice how clear and concise this is. The instruction file itself should be short, like under 200 lines. All the real heavy lifting and the specific details, that's what our reference files are for. That's where the magic happens. And here's what those reference files actually look like. See? We've got one for voice and tone, with just a few bullet points defining how we sound. We have another one for visual style, covering colors and fonts, and a third for our core messaging pillars. Each file is super focused and easy for Claude to grab when it needs it. And finally, we add a few rules. Think of these as crucial guardrails. They tell Claude to only load what it needs, to ask us for clarification if something's unclear, and to keep the output concise. This stops the AI from overthinking and wasting time, and it makes the whole process fast and predictable. Okay, moment of truth. Time for the test. I asked Claude to write a LinkedIn post without using our new skill, and the result? Ugh! It's formal, it's generic, and it sounds absolutely nothing like me. It's exactly the kind of robotic content we're trying to get away from. Now, look at the difference. With our skill activated, the output is just instantly transformed. It's conversational, it's helpful, and it actually sounds like something I would say. The skill automatically grabbed my voice guidelines and applied them perfectly. So, now that we've totally nailed brand consistency, let's build something even more powerful, a research skill that can save you hours every single week. And here's the really cool part. We're going to let Claude help us build it. Yeah, this is a total meta-level move. We're not just using the tool, we're using the tool to build better tools. I just gave Claude this simple prompt explaining exactly what I wanted this research skill to do for my YouTube channel. And would you look at what it came up with? Claude suggested a perfectly structured 5-step workflow. It doesn't just find topics, it analyzes them, it checks if they align with my channel's pillars, it scores them for relevance, and it even suggests specific content angles. This workflow is now the brain of our new skill. So let's run one more test. Asking for trending topics without the skill gives me this, a generic high-level list that isn't tailored to my channel at all. This means I still have to do all the work of filtering and coming up with ideas. But with our new research skill, wow, the result is powerful and it's immediately actionable. It finds a highly relevant topic, gives it a score of 9 out of 10, and provides specific ready-to-film content angles that I know my audience is looking for. This is automation that actually works.
So let's just step back for a second and look at the transformation here. What we've built is so much more than just a few clever prompts. You've literally gone from that frustrating cycle of re-explaining yourself over and over to building a permanent automated AI playbook. One skill handles your brand, another handles your research, and Claude just executes them for you flawlessly. You don't have to do that boring, manual work anymore. This system is ready for you to use right now. You have the blueprint. So the only real question left is, what playbook are you going to build first?